So my name indeed is Jan van Veen. I'm the co-founder of More Momentum, which is a consulting and training company in the area of business innovation and change management. And we particularly focus on manufacturing company, forward-thinking manufacturers who want to advance their business innovation like service, IoT, or big data and digitalization. And before raising More Momentum, I have been a consultant for 15 years, helping manufacturing companies to develop their service business, their service operations, the service offerings, and how they sell them and how they deliver them. And as such, I have seen quite a few challenges that it's not that easy to develop those business services. In the end, it's all about business innovation. And the business innovation is a quite different ball game than improving your operations or improving your sales or incrementally improving your products. So I've been asked to moderate a discussion amongst your tables about that it's now time to transition to everything as a service offerings or product as a service offerings. And one of the questions is that really right now the time to do so, and how? So it's all about now and your products as a service, as an integrated solution. And one of the things that occurs to me if I hear these kind of discussions about advanced services, managed services, products as a services, is what is actually really what you're going to deliver. And I see quite a lot of discussions from service leaders to salespeople, to R&D, to executives, CEOs, CFOs. And then you see that it's quite difficult for them to really understand what you're going to do, what exactly is the proposition, what is the business case, how will it benefit your customers, and how will it benefit the business. So I think part of the challenge is that we have to become much more concrete about what exactly is the thing you're going to do and to offer. So a few examples. So Patrice already shared this example of Wing on Air is offering of Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce is not the only one. But actually the real value proposition they're offering is not from CapEx to OpEx, so that you don't have to buy the engines as if that is the value proposition. The real value proposition is actually twofold. It's about no disruption of your operations. So their promise is whenever your plane has to take off, it will never be stopped because the engine is not working. And this is for commercial airlines, but also for defense. And the other thing is, one of the important drivers for commercial airliners is fuel consumption. So they're doing everything to reduce the fuel consumption. So how can the engine manufacturer contribute to that? So if you have a look at what they have been doing to solve or prepare this solution, it goes really into going with the customer to really understand their operations, their challenges, where they need additional help to perform better. And in a kind of co-constructive design, they came up with some operations, some solutions, and that has to some extent been packaged in Power by the Hour solution. And another example is Caterpillar. So they have different product lines, and one of these is the ground moving equipment, which are being used in construction plants. And one of the things that Caterpillar saw is that quite often, if you just drive along a construction plant, that you see all these yellow machines standing still instead of being operated. And there it occurred that actually one of the key challenges for the construction companies is that they have trouble to kind of have a very solid construction planning and operation, and so what is their solution is to provide some optimized construction planning, and part of that is making sure that they have the right equipment at the right place at the right moment. So that is part of their solution, and indeed they can also offer it as a service, which means that the construction companies do not own these yellow machines, but in some other form. And here's another example, Hilti. Drills, all those kind of machines for other kind of constructions in building facilities. And also there they had a challenge. It's not necessarily that they didn't want to buy the equipment, but actually one of their challenges is to make sure that they always have the right tools at the right moment for the right persons at the right place, depending on what phase the project was. So Hilti was able to take that challenge to them, and part of that means that they just rent out actually the equipment on demand based on that planning. So indeed, about the crystal ball, as Koen already mentioned, I think one of the challenges here is that the value proposition in itself is not product as a service. That in itself is not a value proposition. So what is the value proposition? That really depends on your industry, your clients in different segments, being different countries or different type of clients, that they have particular needs and challenges which may change in time. And the challenge for us as manufacturing companies is to identify them and to provide a solution which is really covering that. And that might be a kind of product as a service or an integrated solution, but maybe not. Maybe they still want to purchase the equipment and have these advanced services which will help them to solve those kind of challenges. And I think one of the points we have to be aware of, that the more somebody is very sure that this is exactly the need they will have in 5 years, and you're going to develop a solution and a service for that, the bigger the chance is that you're going to miss a point and discover that that actually is not the need and something else. And then you have developed a service which has no need. And this is something which we see quite often, that most of the ideas are not commercial viable at the moment that they're being offered. So this is typically being an inside-out challenge. So we don't have the crystal ball, we cannot predict the future, and still we have to develop and innovate our services and potentially keep in mind that a lot of trends are towards product as a service solutions. So how do we do that? So I was thinking of the question for each table to discuss, and also to keep it very pragmatic, is how can we make sure that we do the right thing now for our future value propositions? What can we do now to make sure that we are moving towards the right solutions for the right value propositions? Let's have a discussion on that. I will be walking around, and at the end we will have a brief report out to share the discussions we have been doing on each table. So, have fun.